Our top focus this morning is on the Supreme Court hearing on a batch of intervention petitions filed by a group of gang rape survivors from West Bengal. The petitioners have filed 3 separate applications in the Supreme Court seeking an SIT investigation into the sexual violence. The victims have accused TMC workers of attacking and raping them during post-poll violence for their political and religious beliefs. Of the 3 petitions, 1 has been filed by a 60-year-old woman. 2 other pleas have been filed by teenage girls. The petitioners have narrated horrifying tales of sexual violence and accused police of siding with the alleged perpetrators. The petitioners have sought a transfer of the investigation from Bengal. They want outsiders to probe what happened. The West Bengal government, however, has termed the charges as politically motivated, claiming it's holding a fair investigation into the violence and has also lodged FIRs, arrested the accused, and the government says they paid compensation.
Violence, vandalism, arson. The eruption was instantaneous. Just minutes after Mamata's huge victory in Bengal, these were the scenes in the state. Amidst the violence, allegations of sexual violence and gang rape also erupted. Allegations that quickly sank amidst a ferocious war of words between the victorious Trinamool and the new opposition BJP. And now, over a month later, fresh, horrific details of alleged gang rape have emerged. With multiple women from Bengal, including a minor girl, moving Supreme Court, seeking a detailed probe into what they call a wave of revenge rape by the ruling party.
As the Supreme Court is looking into the issue of post-poll violence in West Bengal, a chorus of complaints has come up regarding allegations of sexual assault by people who are said to be TMC workers. At least 3 applications have been filed in the Supreme Court by women claiming to have been victims of such rape and gang rape by TMC workers, as their family members support the opposition party.
Last month, when separate but similar allegations had emerged, the Trinamool and the Bengal police had dismissed them outright, calling some of them even fake. One of the new applicants, a 60-year-old woman, has detailed horrors starting the 3rd of May, saying her house was surrounded by a large mob of Trinamool supporters and loud threats hurled at her, asking her family to leave the house. She says her daughter-in-law was mercilessly beaten. At midnight, 5 Trinamool workers forced their way in, slapped, beat and tied her to her bed and gang raped her in front of her 6-year-old grandson. A separate plea alleges that a group of 4 men dragged 2 girls into a nearby jungle where they assaulted the 17-year-old and raped them one by one for more than an hour. The plea states that they were attacked and gang raped solely for their families' political affiliations and religious beliefs. In her plea before the Supreme Court, the 17-year-old alleges that she was sent to a child welfare home and wasn't allowed to meet her family. Similar allegations have been made in a plea by a 19-year-old woman. The petitions have sought transfer of the investigation in their cases to a special investigation team to be conducted outside Bengal.
See, the girls need to come out. The girls need to say. If the girls fear to come out, then we can't make up the story, because people will say that we have made up the stories. So that is where we are lacking.
There is such existence of any litigation which is sub judice. It is not proper to make any comment thereon, because the Honorable Supreme Court is dealing with that matter.
The Bengal government on May 25th had informed the court that a 5-judge bench of the Calcutta High Court had already taken cognizance of the issue and was hearing pleas for an SIT investigation. The state government also claimed that FIRs had been registered and arrests had begun to be made. However, the National Human Rights Commission had informed the court that an internal report had been filed by its committee which indicated that there were serious violations of human rights. The matter is expected to be heard by the Supreme Court on Tuesday. With Anisha Mathur, Bureau Report, India Today.
This Tuesday morning, let's also get you details about the big political fight over an alleged land scam in Ayodhya. The Sri Ram Janmabhoomi Tirth Kshetra is in the line of opposition fire. This is over the purchase of a piece of land near the Ayodhya railway station. Both the AAP as well as the Samajwadi Party insist that the land bought from the owners at 2 crore rupees was sold to the trust for 18.5 crore rupees, and that was in under 10 minutes that both these transactions happened. The trust has denied this charge. Kumar Abhishek gets you all the details.
2 crores to 18.5 crores in a matter of minutes. A staggering 825% profit in just 300 seconds for the seller. This is what the opposition has alleged happened in an Ayodhya land purchase by the Ram Janmabhoomi Trust.
भगवान राम के मंदिर बनाने के लिए चंदा देने वाले लोगों के साथ विश्वासघात किया जा रहा है। हरीश पाठक और कुसुम पाठक ने 7:10 पे ये जमीन रवि मोहन तिवारी और अंसारी जी को बेची 2 करोड़ रुपए में, और 2 करोड़ रुपए की ये जमीन रवि मोहन तिवारी और सुल्तान अंसारी साहब ने बेच दी 18 करोड़ 18.5 करोड़ रुपए में राम जन्मभूमि में मंदिर बनाने के नाम पे।
What makes the deal murky is the allegation that there was only a difference of minutes in signing both the deals. Trust members Anil Mishra and Ayodhya Mayor Rishikesh Upadhyay are listed as witnesses in the two deals. The opposition is asking who's the actual beneficiary of 16 crore rupees profit made in this land deal. Sultan Ansari, the man who bought the land initially and sold it minutes later to the trust, wasn't home when the India Today team reached his residence in Suhati village.
ये बीच बहती गांव में एक आलीशान बंगला, एक आलीशान घर आप देख पा रहे हैं। ऐसा लगता है देख के कि काफ़ी ज़्यादा बड़े अमाउंट में इसको बनाया गया है, और तस्वीरें आप देखिए आज तक ग्राउंड जीरो पर आया है पड़ताल करने के बाद। मैं आपको अंदर भी ले चलूँगा। काफ़ी नया न्यूली बिल्ड घर नज़र आता है। ऊपर टेरेस भी आप देख पाएंगे यहाँ पर, और छत भी पड़ी हुई है। दरवाजे आपको देखेंगे नए हैं, कूलर नया लगा है। ऐसा लगता है कि सब कुछ अभी तुरंत हुआ है। ऐसा भी हम कह सकते हैं, शायद एक मुट्ठी को पैसा एक मुश्त मिला है जिसके बाद ये सब चीज़ें बनाई गई हैं।
The Ayodhya Temple Trust has denied any wrongdoing in the land deals.
हमको आरोप लगते ही रहते हैं। मैं 100 साल से आरोप ही देख रहे हैं हम लोग। हम पर महात्मा गांधी की हत्या के आरोप से हम चिंता नहीं करते। आप भी चिंता मत करिए, आप खूब लगाइए। You are yes, I accept, I ready. You also, you do it. आप अपना काम करिए, हम अपना काम करेंगे।
The BJP is treading cautiously as the issue has snowballed into a political scandal.
देखिए, जिनके हाथ राम भक्तों के खून से रंगे हैं वो सलाह न दें। अगर कोई किसी ने भी गड़बड़ किया होगा, ट्रस्ट उसकी जांच करेगा और जो दोषी होंगे उनके खिलाफ कार्रवाई होगी। और रामलला का भव्य मंदिर निर्माण का काम चल रहा है। भव्य मंदिर का निर्माण का कार्य होगा।
A mandir in the name of Lord Ram, the Maryada Purushottam King, is now caught in an unsavory scandal. The charges of financial irregularities have cast a shadow on the Ayodhya Temple Trust, which has raised over 3,200 crore rupees till March the 31st for the construction of the temple. With Kumar Abhishek and Samarth Srivastav in Ayodhya, Bureau Report, India Today.
Over to news from Tamil Nadu, where 16 AIADMK party cadre have been expelled for speaking to Shashikala and in her favour. In a recent gag order, the AIADMK has issued a stern warning to cadre, asserting that whosoever contacts ousted leader Shashikala will face similar tough action. AIADMK spokesperson Vapu Girendi is one of the 16 leaders who's been expelled for anti-party activities. This comes after BK Shashikala had put out, in fact, there's an audio clip that went viral where she was conversing with AIADMK MLAs, lamenting about the party's condition and assuring them that she will return to politics and retrieve the party. The resolution was put forward by Edapadi K. Paradiswamy and O. Pannirselvam, stating that the party shall never be destroyed for the interest of one family. MK Stalin a year ago staged a symbolic protest against the then AIADMK government over the reopening of liquor shops amid a pandemic. And now Stalin is facing fire for doing exactly the same thing as EPS. Tasmac shops have reopened in 27 districts of Tamil Nadu. Tipplers are rejoicing. The opposition is fuming.
This is how locals celebrated the opening of liquor shops in districts of Tamil Nadu. After over a month, Tasmac liquor stores have been opened up in 27 districts of the state. Triplers, as you can see, are elated. The opposition not so much. The Stalin government's announcement has been met with anger, as the AIADMK has now called the DMK as hypocrites. Because last year, MK Stalin had led a protest against the EPS government's decision to open liquor shops. The BJP also held a statewide protest on Sunday against the government's decision.
As you sow, so you reap. So that time, MK Stalin came out and said, playing with the lives of the people during pandemic. Isn't this government shameful to run this government through the source of liquor? These were the kind of narratives. He carried even a placard protesting against opening of Tasmac.
Chief Minister, when he was an opponent party, he opposed to open the Tasmac shop, that is liquor shops. He came to the power. Immediately he gave the order to open because now the cases are not reduced.
The DMK, however, has defended the move of reopening liquor shops, saying it has been done only in districts with low caseload.
Those people who have been protesting yesterday, the BJP leaders, why don't they cross 65 kilometers and go to Puducherry and go to the governor of Tamil Nadu and hold their slogans? Because they opened their liquor shop 1 week earlier. So why are you having two different hats? Why are you not? It suits you because you are not. They are now unable to find a single fault on our Chief Minister MK Stalin.
Amid a pandemic, if you're wondering why opening liquor shops is a priority, it's simple. Government-owned Tasmac shops are cash cows in the state and will help the government pool in much-needed revenue. With liquor shops opening, the government has assured that all COVID norms will be followed. However, DMK is also facing flack for protesting against the same move last year, but changing stance after coming to power. With video journalist Divyan, Pramod Madhav for India Today.
With the COVID-19 restrictions easing in several states and there's been a steady decline in cases, that's why governments have been doing it, people again have thrown caution to the winds. They thronged markets, roads and metro stations, in many cases brazenly violating COVID norms. This would only increase the country's problem in the fight against COVID. Here's a report on how we saw mass violations in different parts of the country.
Not 100, not 1,000. Over 5,000 cars entered Shimla in just a day. Just hours after Himachal Pradesh announced relaxation of curbs after a decline in COVID caseload, endless traffic jams were seen in Solan district. In the mad rush to enter the hill state in the middle of a hot summer, revelers seem to have forgotten the pandemic is not over yet.
5,000 vehicles क्रॉस की शोगी के अंदर आई. That means टूरिस्ट इन्फ्लक्स बहुत बड़ा है. मेरा आग्रह रहेगा कि टूरिस्ट आएँ. आपका बहुत स्वागत है हमारे शिमला में, हमारे हिमाचल में. बट कोविड अभी भी हमारे बीच में है, भूलिएगा मत. लापरवाही मत कीजिए. जो भी प्रोटोकॉल है, खासकर मास्क वेयर करना, सोशल डिस्टेंसिंग, सैनिटाइजेशन का ध्यान रखना और इत्यादि, आप उनका ध्यान रखें.
The crowds are not limited to Himachal. In the national capital, people thronged markets as if there was no tomorrow. At metro stations, authorities closed few gates to restrict capacity to 50%.
अभी बस वही कह रहे हैं 50% है, तो इसलिए अब ओपन होगा, मेट्रो आएगी, अब ओपन करेंगे शायद ये.
But that did not pan out well. People in Delhi aren't the only COVIDians. These images from Indore will shock you even more. All social distancing norms thrown to the wind. Having suffered the deadly COVID wave, one would have expected citizens to learn a few lessons from the harrowing 3 months. But clearly, that isn't the case. With Kumar Kunal in Delhi, Bureau Report, India Today.
As over 10 lakh students seek clarity on Class 12 assessment, the CBSE is expected to announce the criteria in the next 48 hours. What we're hearing is that students may be evaluated on pre-board marks. Class 10 and Class 11 marks may also play a key role in evaluation.
More than 2 weeks after Prime Minister Modi cancelled CBSE board exams for Class 12 students due to the pandemic, suspense over the exam results continue. And more than 10 lakh students are waiting for clarity on the assessment procedure.
प्रायोरिटीज ऑनेस्टली स्पीकिंग अब मुझे नहीं पता दैट रिजल्ट किस बेसिस पर होगा. मतलब अब इसमें हो सकता है कि कुछ बच्चे जो डिज़र्व नहीं करते उनको अच्छे परसेंटेज आ जाए, कुछ बच्चे जो पढ़ लेते हैं उनके परसेंटेज थोड़ी उनके मतलब सेटिस्फाइड ना हो. सो आगे अफेक्ट तो करेगा ये करियर में, क्योंकि कॉलेज में एडमिशन्स किस बेसिस पर मिलेगी, यूनिवर्सिटीज़ वो नहीं पता. तो या
एक तो पहले तो डिसीजन एकदम से सडनली लिया गया, इतना प्रेयर्ड नहीं थे, बल्कि एक होप थी कि एग्ज़ाम होंगे, क्योंकि सीबीएसई एक बहुत ही क्रूशियल क्लास होती है, आपका फ्यूचर का बहुत मेन क्लास होती है. और डिसीजन मेरे हिसाब से थोड़ा अनफेयर था, क्योंकि जिन बच्चों ने सच्ची में बहुत मेहनत करी है उनके साथ थोड़ा सा कह सकते हैं नाइंसाफ़ी हुई है. पर उम्मीद ये है कि अब असेसमेंट आगे अच्छी हो ताकि हमारी परसेंटेज अच्छी आए, क्योंकि कई कॉलेजेस ऐसे हैं जो अपने एंट्रेंसेस भी नहीं ले रहे हैं, वो मेरिट पे ही लेंगे.
The CBSE might put an end to the students' anxiety in the next 48 hours. Sources have told India Today that the CBSE has zeroed in on evaluating students on the basis of their performances in previous exams. Evaluation will be carried out on the basis of pre-board exams as well as performance in class 10th and 11th.
12वीं का जो भी क्राइटेरिया डिसाइड होगा वो कंसल्टेंसी के साथ होगा, जस्ट एंड प्रॉपर होगा, और किसी बच्चे का किसी तरह का नुकसान होने की कोई गुंजाइश नहीं होगी.
The board had also rejected reports of it following a no marks criteria to evaluate students. Remember, Delhi Deputy Chief Minister Manish Sisodia had written a letter to Union Education Minister Ramesh Pokhriyal Nishank with similar suggestions. Sisodia had suggested that 30 marks weightage be given to pre-board results, while 20 marks each be considered for class 10th and 11th results. The remaining 30 marks should be decided on basis of practical exams. The CBSE faces a big test of finalizing a fast and fair assessment formula for the students. Bureau Report, India Today.
With that, it's a wrap on this edition of First Up. Thank you very much for watching. Have a great day, and as always, for all the top headlines, you can log on to our website indiatoday.in or download the app.